All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Let's try this again. My name is Peter Feliciano, and you are watching Conservatish episode 175. My God, I know it's been 2 weeks since you've got to see my wonderful bald face, but God damn it, I'm doing my best, okay? I had to take a little time off because I'm busy, all right? You can't afford me anyway. Ungrateful. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like it. Take the time right now, before we even get into the deliciousness of this episode, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate it. Make sure you write some scathing, wonderful things about me and my guest. And like us on Instagram, me on Peter_Feliciano. And not on TikTok for now, but we'll see soon. And Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. I love you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, and Zers, our wonderful guest today is Little Ragamuffin. Yay!
Yay!
We're making it work.
I know. You should totally put the other stuff in, like at the end, like blooper reel or something.
Yes. Actually, you were so white in those. I don't know. It might offend people's eyes. You know what I mean? Actually, Warner Brothers might take it down because they'll think it's property.
It's a white face.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was gonna say powder. It looked like powder.
Oh yeah.
You're too young to remember the 90s, aren't you?
No, I remember the 90s. I was around in the 90s. I was around in the 80s.
Oh my God.
Don't make me tell you how old I am.
You were around in the 1880s? All right, ladies and gentlemen,
1880s.
Little Ragamuffin. Where can people find you?
So I'm on Facebook and MeWe and Instagram. I'm on Gab and Minds. Twitter, I was on Parler. So you can find me anywhere. Sign up for my newsletter, go on my website. That's the best way, because with all the crazy nonsense with the internet and social media,
Right.
Newsletters. Yeah.
What's the website?
Oh, littleragamuffin.com.
Perfect. Yeah. Lovely. Don't misspell that, because it'll never mind.
You don't want to know what happens if you misspell.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so grateful to have you on, Little Ragamuffin. I specifically because I don't know how you got introduced to me. It must have been, was it Mike? Who was it?
I saw Carrie Smith on your show.
Right.
So she posted like, I'm going to be on CONSERVATISH. And I was like, that's a funny name. Okay. So I watched and I was like, this guy's funny, entertaining. And he says a lot of true things here. So then I started watching a little more, and there you go. And then I followed you on Instagram, and I believe you were like, who are you, you weirdo lady? Why are you following me? Just making sure you know what you're getting into,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I like it when people come to me through Carrie, because usually they're a lot more understanding and measured. When they come through, like, I love that clip you did with Shelby Steele. You know what I mean? I had Shelby Steele. They're on their website. It says Patriot and Christian. And I'm like, you're gonna unfollow me like right quick, because I talk. What did I post? Something about when some meme that someone made when she comes home from the gym smelling lightweight musty, like, and it's Mickey Mouse like sniffing, like that's my shit. Like it is what it is. It's not gonna go well for you if you're like Patriot. Woo. But I appreciate some of the back and forth conversations that we've had. Also, by the way, I'm going to be on Carrie Smith. I'm going to be on Unsafe Space tomorrow. I'm going to record.
No
it.
shit. That's awesome. I'm really excited.
Thank you. I don't know when they're going to post it, but it is what it is. I appreciated our conversation so far, and it came to mind that you are a problematic fabric designer.
Yes, actually, I'm not a fabric designer. I have to correct you. I'm a pattern designer.
So
yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is I don't make fabric. I make sewing patterns. That's a very big difference.
White girls. All right. Anyway, all right. So you're a pattern designer, and we can get into the less fun stuff because we have only a limited amount of time. You were problematic. When did this? And then you somehow got canceled. You got canceled.
Well, they tried to cancel me. So I like to say that I'm cancelable because I don't allow them to cancel me.
Right.
And I think that's the key. So if anybody with a business or just a person is being like attempted at being canceled, like they're going after you, all you have to do is just ignore them and tell them to go away and stand up for yourself. Because if you don't care what they think about you, then they have nothing else to do and they get bored and they go away, usually.
Yeah.
You know, that's my experience anyway.
Right. So you're saying groveling doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't. No,
over and over
no.
doesn't
Because
work.
once you tell them, like, so for me, so we're going to get into that. So I'll just go right in. I have a men's t-shirt pattern, and it's called the Good Old Boy. And I'm a Dukes of Hazzard fan, and I'm a Waylon Jennings fan, and I am not afraid to say it. So I put that on my pattern, and apparently it rubbed some people the wrong way. It was out for over a year. And then finally somebody was like, oh, that's racist. She needs to change it. And it came in 2019, November. I was having a month-long giveaway because it was my 2-year anniversary of my business. And so during this time, I had a whole month planned of giveaways, like giving away a serger, which is like a $300 machine, just stuff. Like I had sponsors all month long. And it all got shut down because I was all of a sudden racist. So it was a really hard month. But after I made it through the month, it was pretty easy, like maintainable. It's a constant effort. You have to, these people keep coming. They're like flies. You swat them away. You just tell them, go away, get out of here. We don't want you here. And they just go away. But so they attempted to make me change the name of the pattern. And I did think about it. I said, I understand some people might be offended, I guess, because that's what they're telling me. Because at first I didn't know. I was like, okay, why is this offensive? So some people are like, blah, blah, it's offensive. So I took a minute and I was like, I'll think about changing it. And then I didn't. And I came back like 2 days later and was like, guys, I'm not changing it. I made a statement. I said, it's staying the way it is. And you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to, I don't care. I don't care. And within that statement, I also put the pattern on sale with the code free speech for 50% off. So that kind of pissed them off royally, and they got worse before they got better. It got worse, which I was expecting, but I was like, you don't tell me what to do. Like, I'm not that person,
Now, when did it turn vitriolic? Was it right away?
What do you mean?
Like,
big words.
Right. Vitriolic meaning like hateful, like personal.
Oh, it was like immediate.
Okay.
So what happened was I was sharing the pattern sale because it was on sale on like November 3rd or something. I had sales every day. It was a different pattern. So I think it was like November 3rd or 4th. And I was in a group on Facebook and I said, oh, hey, my pattern's on sale. And I dropped the link and someone came back and said, oh, that's a weird name. Why would you name it that? Like, that sounds pretty offensive and racist and whatever the hell else they said. And I said, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, that's white. I forgot what the hell she said back to me. But then I told her, I said, that sounds like Newspeak and I'm not doing it. Like, there's nothing wrong with the name. And that's it. So once I said that Newspeak, she's like, what's Newspeak? Blah, blah. And it blew up. And from, there's a group on Facebook and it's called Free Speech Patterns and Fabric Edition. And it's a secret group. And these women are horrible. And they go in there and they plot and scheme and plan how to destroy people like me. And this is no joke. There's like a huge amount of businesses that have, it's kind of sad actually. Some of them have actually given up their businesses and sold to other people to take over. So people have lost their livelihoods, I guess, and from this kind of behavior. So I hate cancel culture. So once I saw that coming, I was like, no, not happening. But it did go into that group and they were going around and saying, well, how can we cancel her? This and that, because people send me screenshots. So I saw all the nasty crap that was going on in there. And there's even a 7-minute, somebody has time to make a 7-minute video of how much they hate you and how racist you are. You're doing something right. Let me tell you that. Because when people hate you, the right people, that's when if everybody loves you, then you're nothing. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Shout out to the white women who are watching this just to find out how they can take them down. Your whiteness is your problem. See, this is the thing I've talked a lot about on the show, and I'm going to reiterate it here. White people are the problem, but not for the reasons that the liberals think they are. It's we're going to protect the poor Black person. We're going to protect the poor trans person by taking down a fabric company I love you very much. You're never going to win, but I love you. And I would suggest that you get laid. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing that story. I wanted to know also, how often does it come up, and are there different ways that people try to take you down? Like,
Yeah.
what
So,
are some of the tactics?
so let me go. I'll do that 1 second. What you just said about the white women. So the woman who made the video, she is not white. The 7-minute video of hating me and all that.
Sure.
She's not white. But she says in the video, "Hey, white people, get your girl. Go get her." We're done. I'm tired. Like, she does this whole thing, and it's like, seriously, now you're telling people what you want them to do, and they're just gonna scurry off and go do it. Like, what kind of backbone do you have as a person to just be like, I'm gonna go listen to somebody because they're have some sort of influence online, like, and then I'm gonna do what they say and ruin somebody's life or try. Like, it's stupid. And think for yourself.
And here's an even deeper question. Was it a black girl, Latin girl, Chinese? What was she?
She's black.
Okay. Here's another deeper question. How is internet activism tiring you out?
I don't know, but they want to get paid for it. They have emotional labor.
Right, exactly. How are you exhausted? Because I typed a couple of things. I recorded them. Maybe you would be less tired if you got less offended, Mama. You know what I mean? Like,
right. She also goes on to say how the Western, because it's the Good Old Boy is part of my Western collection. So it's all Western type theme shirts and stuff for kids and women. So Western that's what made me not change the name. When somebody sent me that video and I watched it and I was like, oh, it's Western now too. So if I change Good Old Boy to something else, then they're going to come at me and say, oh, you need to change that one now too. The entire collection's wrong. And within the same video, she goes on to say, who the hell lets her name patterns? All of her patterns. So I'm like, this isn't going to end. This is it's a continuing spiral.
Right. Because that black girl is not taking care of herself. That's the Was she fat? Just let me know. Was she fat?
She's not skinny.
Okay. Okay. So, and thick, by the way, thick with 2 C's. Be real, baby. Be real. You're not taking care of yourself. This is not nutrition. So here's the thing. Also, in addition to that question, not only would it not be enough, I saw one, and I think I shared it with you, and some other Instagram account shared it as well. But like, there was some weird thing called textile. What is it? Something textiles on Facebook, some fabric community, where someone shared, we're fighting against fascism, and they used the pattern of Captain America. And apparently that was like, then someone, of course, usually a white girl, although I'm sure there are a couple of lonely black girls who are like, I feel power by making all these white people feel scared, either white women or white effeminate men. So they went online. This is a problematic. Of course, a white man is used as Captain America fighting fascism. It's like, and then the fabric textiles, or whatever the company, they were like, we apologize. We're going to take this time. We're going to take time. Ugh. There's just, I hate everyone involved in this. I hate the black people. I hate the white people. I hate the liberals. I hate the kowtowing. I hate everybody involved. So good on you for not.
Yeah, I saw that. And it's the same thing. Like you said, it's the same group of people. I went through, and the people that were the most vocal, the loudest ones, the ones that kept posting on my Facebook page and trying to get in my group and start the trouble. And then from the screenshots that were given to me from this free speech group, I've compiled a list of people. And I know when I see this stuff happen, like in this other group you're talking about with the Captain America, it's the same 20 to 30 people, like, no joke. And there's a couple other people that have had similar issues and have tried to stand up, but have kind of went in the middle, and they're just kind of trying to sneak under the radar of these, and they say the same thing. Those are the same people that came into my group. The same woman that made my video about me did this to another pattern company, saying, because she tested for them and they didn't use her pictures because she turned them in late. Not that they were bad pictures, they just turned them in late, and they already had the website together and everything was done, right? And she's like, oh, blah, 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 like, you're silencing black women or something. I don't even know. But now that whole entire company is now labeled racist again. Like,
right.
It's like so stupid.
Right.
It's like stupid. They wouldn't do that to Walmart. You don't carry my size, Walmart. Oh, so now you're fat shaming. Like, what?
No, some people have.
You know?
Some people have. I mean, Jessica Ann, when they wouldn't wax her balls,
Where though? Was it a small business or was it a corporate business?
You're right. Touche. It was a small business, but she did take it to court too. So notice, by the way, I'm saying she, even though
You're so kind.
I'm so understanding.
You
are.
are.
A lot of trans friends. Oh, and shout out, by the way, to the white people who are going to want to attack me. First things first, come for me, baby girl. Come for me. I have no problem. I want you to. Here's the second thing. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm half Puerto Rican. So I'm only 45% white. So you have to be non-white in order to come for me. Otherwise, you're trying to silence a person of color. So you faced a lot of this. Now it's the same people. Has it actually affected your business?
So in the beginning, it did. It was, okay. So, the way I look at it is I was celebrating my 2-year anniversary and it was 10,000 group members. So it was like big hurrah, right? For both. And for me, I think that's great. Like in 2 years, I gathered 10,000 people in my group, which compared to like a page or something, people want to be in your group. They're not just going to follow it. Right. So I lost, I'd say maybe 200, 250, maybe like right off the bat. And some of those I kicked out because they were the troublemakers. So the ones that followed and left because they didn't like it. I mean, good riddance, right? Like they're gone. And now I'm over that. It's been over a year and I'm at 11,300.
Nice.
So the growth is not there anymore. Like I really, if that hadn't happened and everything was like perfectly fine, I would say I'd probably be at 20,000 or close to hitting 20K right now. But that did happen. And I am now blacklisted from like a million groups on Facebook. So this is what you were asking me before, like what happens after the aftermath, right? There's a lot of promotion groups. There's a lot of fabric companies that refuse to work with me, kick me out of their groups, kick my testers out, call them names. So like stuff happens and it's pretty sad. But it's not the end because, the internet is just that. It's the internet. It does hurt small businesses though. So I could see like when I did the comparison with Walmart, again, like Walmart doesn't care. They're not going to. Trader Joe's. Did you see the thing with Trader Joe's a few months ago? They have like their Trader Ming's and Trader Jose's beer, and they have all their ethnic names and things, right? So somebody was like, that's racist. Change your name, stop it. And they said, no. They said, our customers like this. We looked at who's buying our stuff and they enjoy it and we're going to keep it. And that's what I did. I was like, who's my customer base? Who's your customer base? Businesses out there. Who are your customers? Who do you want to be your customers? Do you want these people that are trying to tear down you and other people, other businesses? Do you want them? Are they nice? Do you think they're the ones with money? Are they buying stuff from you right now? Because I'll tell you, they're not. They weren't from me because part of me was scared to remove people and kick people out and get rid of them because I was like, well, I want business, And then I started looking through my customer log and I said, none of these women, there was maybe 1 or 2, I'm not kidding, out of about 60 that actually purchased something from me. So you have this massive swarm of people coming at you from all directions. And they're like, you're racist, you're horrible, you hate Black people, like all these weird things. And you go, but you don't buy from me. So why would you care? Even if I was all those things, why do you care?
Right.
Like, so.
Yeah, I saw something before I logged on at Disney Plus. Did you see what just happened? Disney Plus said they're restricting kids under 7 from watching Aristocats, Peter Pan, and Dumbo because they're racist.
Oh yeah, no, Dumbo definitely is racist because they have those blackbirds. Literally, they're blackbirds. The crows.
But were they voiced by Black people? I want to know that.
Probably. Okay. I don't know.
So all right. So that's but I know many, I mean, even the people who tried to cancel you, they're in their probably 20s, right? Living off of daddy's pay,
Yeah,
hating the
probably
patriarchy,
older.
but living off of
I would
daddy's.
say probably 30s, most of
Okay,
them.
so they're old enough to understand context, yet they willfully don't. So why are they protecting 7-year-olds who obviously don't understand context either? Why is it? Do you understand what I'm saying? 30-year-olds are not understanding context or complexity or nuance. So why does it matter? You know, so that happened, and not only would I say would I support that idea that you said that the people who are the maddest are not purchasing. I also think that they are kind of professional victims. Like if you look at the ratio, you had 10,000 people, and you had what you said 60, maybe 200 who left, but 200 is still a small percentage. It's not you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even the vocal ones were like you said 30 to 60, right?
Yeah, I've personally blocked 60, maybe 65 people from my personal Facebook account, so they can no longer see any of my business, anything that I open or do on Facebook. They have no access to, because I've blocked them from that. From my group, I think it was like another 20, but that's not from me. That's just because, for whatever other reason, you know.
Right. But not only were those angry ones not purchasing things, they also aren't creating anything. That's the real problem. That's the real thing. That's why Marx is a hero to these people, because Marx didn't create anything either. Marx had a rich daddy. And Marx had a rich daddy, and when you have a rich daddy, things go really well. And if you don't have a good daddy, you have a rich daddy. That means that the rich daddy is not teaching you how to create your own things, how to earn your own things, how to have a spiritual life, how to self-care, how to whatever you want to call it, how to have a personality. And so you get mad at the patriarchy, even though you're living off of the fucking patriarchy, right? And so these people, ultimately, what Marx was, is jealous, is angry and jealous. These people who are like, Marx is a hero, is because they don't have your creativity. You know what I'm saying? They don't have not only your creativity, they don't have the raw clay that you could create, that they could create. They also don't want to put in the work, because in being an artist and being an artist myself, it's not enough to go. I know so many rappers and so many musicians over the years who are like, I'm very talented. I'm not going to put any music out. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to perform, but I'm going to sit in my room and say, I'm better than that guy. Click the channel. I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. Wow. Why doesn't life give me a chance? Listen to Larry Elder, by the way, talk about the guy, his friend.
I love Larry Elder.
Larry Elder. Oh, my heart. That would be one of my dream putting it out there, positivity into the universe. Larry, come on my show. Although he has much better teeth than I have. He's never mind. Actually, let's be real. They're fake. I love you, Larry, but they're fake. But anyway, I digress. So the people, there are a lot of people who are complaining and either don't have the creativity to create something or don't want to put in the work to create something. You did. You earned those 10,000 followers. You earned that 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears. However, even if it's, just fabric or whatever, not just, but, even if it's you put in the work, and they didn't, nor will they.
So that was the biggest thing too. I was like, hey, if I tell these people no, and shit goes really bad and it burns to the ground, I don't care, because I have lost no integrity. I know that I'm capable of starting another business, even if at that point I'm like, well, crap, now I do have to rebrand because this one I did burn into the ground. I can do that. And there's nothing stopping me from recreating what I've already created, because I have those skills, I have that knowledge, and these people are they're just nothings. Like, I don't know. They're just little flies. Like I said, you just keep swatting them away. Right.
Right. And they've always been around. So like, even before it was a race thing, there were people, like, as an example, the idea of on all these streaming sites, black voices, black movies, black TV shows. Just because it's black doesn't mean it's good. Okay. I don't know anybody who, I was talking with a comic the other day, Mark Hughes, shout out Mark Hughes. And we were talking about female comedians. And I have some Bonnie McFarlane is one of the funniest people in the world, but even female comedy fans, when you ask them who's their favorite, you could be all rah feminist all you want. Who's your favorite comic? It's almost never a female comic, because it is what it is. It is what it is. You mentioned Chappelle, Bill Burr, blah, 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 right? So when the rubber meets the road, you can't lie, right? So just because something is black or woman or whatever doesn't mean it's good. Proof is in the pudding. Some of the best music that's ever been made is black voices from the 70s and 80s. Rick James, James Brown, Prince. I mean, come on, let's be real, right? So it's not that I hate black people and that's why I don't want to watch Sylvie's Love or whatever bullshit. It's not that I hate black people that I don't want to watch Moonlight or whatever bullshit you're trying to ram down my throat. I just want talent. I want creativity. And if you're trying to shoehorn it because, well, it's black, it must be good. Go fuck. Like, that's a lie. That's a lie. And it's a lie made by people who have less talent. It's a lie by people who have less creativity and want to get a leg up on other people who have already been working hard, you know?
Yeah. So that's totally true. And you know, you're talking about like women and comics and stuff like that. So comic books, not comedians. So you have like Captain Marvel, who is completely a crap character. This woman, the only reason that movie made money is because it was jammed in between two Marvel movies like Endgame and whatever the heck the other one was. I don't know all the names, but like, she's horrible. But I love Black Widow. Like, Black Widow is an honest character and it's not forced. She's not like overly woman just to be strong or whatever, right? Like, she's just a good character and she's strong and she holds her own. And you have Captain Marvel swoops in and saves the freaking day. Like, that's unbelievable. Nobody cares. That's not true. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right. Like Kristen Bell a couple years ago when she made some weird remake of Charlie's Angels, and everyone was like, it totally tanked. And Kristen Bell was like, it's because people are unafraid, or it's because people don't want a female lead. And then people were like, Kill Bill was one of the most like Kill Bill, Wonder Woman. Like, we're showing you all of these. We want, it's just, we want talent and creativity. I would venture to say Kristen Bell is good at saying other people's lines, but when she's behind the camera, maybe she hasn't earned her salt. It's just, she's married to Dax Shepard and I'm a girl, so you have to like me. Ugh, earn it.
Yeah.
Earn it. You know what I mean? I want everybody across the board. I was yelling about it with Unlearn the World on the last episode. I want talent to be judged by talent alone, you know? Yeah.
So what happens, I think, here in this situation is activism over medium, like whatever you're doing comedy, you're doing pattern making like me, you're doing acting or music or whatever. If activism is on top, whatever that is, it squishes and it pushes down whatever talent you may have. You could be the most talented person, but if you're purposefully and your only purpose is to push that message, you lose the actual message of the art that you're trying to perform.
Yeah.
So that's what happens with these women or the Black people or whatever. Like, they push it so hard that there's no room for actual authenticity in talent, you know?
Right. So I've said it many times this way. If you put message over art.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the example I always cite is Trevor Noah. If that guy says a sentence without the word apartheid in it, it's a fucking miracle. You know what I mean? Like,
I hate that guy.
Did you guys know I grew up in a bad way? Did you guys know I suffered as a kid? Boo fucking who?
Everybody has.
Richard Pryor grew up with a prostitute mother, okay, and was a black guy in the 50s, okay, way worse than like, my people were mad at my parents because one was white and one was black. I mean, apartheid was bad. I'm not saying whatever. All I'm saying is if you can't, just because you had some trauma doesn't mean we all have to suffer now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had some trauma. Oh, I was raped. Give me money. Fuck you. Do you know how many people are raped in this world? Do you know how many people are molested and beaten down and suffer the slings and arrows of not just race, but class and females and trans and all this? That doesn't mean you get to now bully us into liking your stuff just because you had, sack up, Trevor Noah. Do some spiritual work. Have you ever tried to watch his stand-up?
You know what? I haven't seen anything. I've seen like little tiny clips here and there, but I even the clips, I'm just like, who is this guy? Like, he doesn't come off as authentic or funny or anything. Like, it's just, I don't know why you're on TV, man. Like,
I'll tell you why he's on TV.
well, I could probably tell you why too. He's checking boxes.
Exactly, because the same people who tried to cancel you, right? They may not have money, but they have eyes, and they can go, "We love you, Trevor." We're not going to watch because the ratings have always continued, but we love you, Trevor, because you support our message. You support our message. You hate the rich white guy too. I'm mad at daddy. I'm mad at my dad. I'm mad at my dad. And so anybody who looks like my dad or acts like my dad or whatever, I'm going to try to take them down. But when you're a woman or a trans or whatever who's mature, you understand that there's complications to it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? I posted it today from the Life of Brian, where they're complaining about Monty Python, when they're complaining about the Romans. What have the Romans ever done for us? And there's like, well, the aqueduct and the roads and the this, that. Like, you can complain about the patriarchy all you want, like, just because. And I said it in the last episode. I'll explain, because I did have one person. By the way, if you're mad at anything I say, talk to me. I'm a human being. I might listen if you come in nice. But somebody brought up, they were like, I love it. I love this episode. I love the conversation. But the last episode, you said something about, what was it? You said something about how has Africa been doing with the black people on top, right? And they were confused because they were like, does that mean you think black people are bad at leadership? And I'm like, no. That means regardless of who's on top, humans are going to human. That's what it was, is that black doesn't equal good, just like we've already talked about in this conversation. So that's what I was explaining to them. And, you can complain about the patriarchy and the white and whatever. Like, Africa's been black on top for a long time, okay? And yet they're still killing each other in the streets. They're still killing them. You are 4 times more likely to be raped in South Africa than you are in America. 4 times. But black is good, right? Black is good because black skin is just morally superior, right? Fuck you. I'm a treat.
You get the slow clap.
I do. I'm a wonderful, wonderful man. Now, how have things progressed? Because we've only got like 10 more minutes. How have things progressed for you for the last 2 years?
So the last year's it's been a rough and bumpy ride. It took a couple months to figure out how to handle, because it just keeps coming. Like I said, stupid flies, flick them. They keep coming. And so, like, if you post something and they're like, oh, that sounds racist. Oh, this one again, that comes with a nice side of racism, that pattern. And you're like, so I started, okay, so Tatiana McGrath, wonderful profile on Twitter. If anybody doesn't know about it, it's funny. So she put out a list of things that are racist. And she also links to articles that confirm it. So like from Time Magazine or whatever. So like the master bedroom, you're no longer allowed to have like master bedroom. So this whole long list of really weird things. So I started posting like lists like that. Oh, so if my pattern's racist, what about all of these? I think the world has a bigger problem than my pattern, like making fun of them, throwing things back at them. I got into a meme war with this one woman. She just started dropping like, oh, that's disgusting, these memes underneath my pattern name. So I said like Pee Wee Herman at her, like, I know you are, but what am I? Like,
yeah.
Stuff, because they just don't stop. So they what their deal is to wear you down. Right. They just keep coming and they just want to wear you down until you give up. They know that I don't care, but they still think that if they continue their bad behavior, that eventually I'm going to be fed up and say, I throw in the towel. I'm done. I give up. You guys win. I can't handle it anymore. So I've decided to just give it back to them.
Right.
So that's how that goes. And like, I mean, it got pretty bad over the summer. I did have a big blow up in the summer. I was a sponsor for another group. And this group was just a fun group. All they did was giveaways and sewing. It wasn't a business. It had nothing to do with, nobody was making money there. They were all volunteers. And they asked if I would sponsor them with some patterns. And they had like 10 other sponsors for the month. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So when my day came up as a sponsor, all of these people came out of the woodwork again. And they were like, oh, you guys can't have her as a sponsor. You need to drop her right now. And the admin team was amazing. And I talked to them and I told them what happened. And they were like, well, we're going to keep you. And I was like, hooray. Like, that's like the tides are changing. Someone's not going to cancel me. They're just going to keep going. So they did. And when they did that, the other sponsors pulled out because they were being attacked. So these people were so mad that they kept me, that they started harassing the other sponsors. So then they started pulling out. And then finally what ended up happening was they closed the entire group and they archived the group and the admins walked away. And that broke my heart quite a bit because these people, it was just a fun group. It was joyful. It was fun. People had a good time. They got prizes. I love prizes. If you're in my group or join my group, I constantly give things away. I'm always giving away patterns and fabric and whatever I can get my hands on. I love my people. I love you all. And I just love to give. Like, it's part of my business is just giving back, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my customers, right? So if I can give, I give as much as I can. So to me, that group was awesome. And they are gone because of these crazy, miserable women who can't stand for anybody to have a good time. They want everybody to be miserable, and they close that damn group, and it makes me so mad. However, after that, I did write another blog post. That's the other thing too. I make this stuff public. These women with these businesses or whoever, they try to keep it, shh, 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 shh. We don't want anybody to know this is happening. I said, you know what? It's not going to be in my private group. I'm going to put this on my blog. I'm going to put this on my public Facebook page. This is what happened. I'm going to share this link and make people know that this is happening, not because I want to be on your show or anybody's show or, you know what, I don't care. It's more like to shame them. And so people understand you can stand up for yourself and you can make it out, and you don't have to give in.
Right.
You know,
right.
There is a silver lining, and I'm hoping that that's coming like even more so now, like over the last 2 months, which has been really weird because it's been over a year now since all this happened. But I think people are starting to hear more about it. The last 2 months, I've been getting an influx of people in my group, and I have a setting where they have to fill out like, why did you join this group? Where are you coming from? Like, why? How'd you find me? And they say stuff like, oh, I saw somebody talking really bad about you in another group, and I wanted to see why. And then I saw why, and I said, they're stupid. And now I'm joining a group, and I bought some patterns, and then I bought more patterns, you know, like those types of things. And it's amazing. And I'm like, every time I see that, it just makes me smile, because like somebody has a brain, and there's a lot of people lacking their brains right now. They don't think for themselves,
right.
You know?
Right. The idea is, it goes back to that idea of like morally superior. If you're against cancel culture, you're morally superior because you're not intellectually boring. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about like I'm morally superior. Everybody who's listening, who's fans of my show is like, Pete just said he's morally superior. No, I'm morally superior because I take care of myself, or morally. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to put forth, like, I'm trying to help people, especially the white women, because they're like, I have to I have to stand up for everybody. No, you don't, mama. No, you do not. You're morally superior because you're not intellectually boring. You're morally superior because you understand context and nuance and complicatedness of humanity. You're morally superior. You're right. You don't need to doubt yourself, even though you have white skin. Okay, there's a lot of horrendous Black people in this world, and there's a lot of horrendous white people. Just breathe. They can't actually hurt you. You know what I mean?
That's the other thing. These people get so scared because the mobs, I'm sure you've been attacked. I don't know if you had been mobbed.
The only people who have
you
ever
asked for
Nazi
it,
are white boys.
You're out there asking for it. So anyway, I wasn't asking for it. They just, when they swarm so hard, and it's very emotional. And I think women, especially, we're emotionally driven. We lack, and this is going to sound really bad, but we lack rational thinking, and our emotions, like we're emotions and then irrational. So you're like, people hate me, stop hating me. Like, and then you're going to do whatever you can. And in the same manner, you try to save everybody, like that mothering instinct that they all want to say, well, we're feminists and we don't need to be moms and all this, but you do. And that is exactly why you have all these women trying to save somebody or protect them from somebody else that is not even harming them. Like, I'm not harming anybody. Again, don't buy my patterns. I don't care. I could sell one, and I will be more than happy to have that one person love my pattern than sell 1,000.
And Black people aren't children.
No,
The
some are, but they're like the
idea,
children. They're like 5 and 6,
right?
right?
The condescending idea that not only am I so important that I need to mother, also comes with a hefty dose of pandering, nasty condescension, because you're saying these people need me. No, they don't. Do you know how strong Black people are? That's what I always say. Like, if face paint takes you down, you're a bitch. You're not a strong person. You're a wimp. You know what I'm saying? And I will throw out, just to continue on with that idea, I love women, especially white women. But hey, nature is nature. Anyway, I'm trying to say,
he's single, ladies, single.
I'm very
I'm just saying, there's a lot of white women. There's a lot of white women that follow me. So I'm just putting it out there.
And I got a nice penis. Anyway, I will. So I will say though, and I was talking about it on a show a couple of shows ago with Pomey, the rapper. Go look up that episode, everybody. But the idea of if femininity, as important as it is, if femininity is going wild, who's at fault? It's not the females, right? You don't get mad don't get mad for what I'm about to say, ladies. And if you do, email me, I'll take care of you. But you don't get mad at when the tiger attacks Siegfried. You know what I mean? Because the tiger's doing tiger stuff. Okay. You don't get mad at femininity for being feminine. You get mad at masculinity for not balancing, for not being mature enough and strong enough and confident enough to go, hey, you need a little fucking balance. You need to shut your mouth right now, like with love, but you need to calm down. Okay. The idea.
So that's exactly what happened. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when I was freaking out and I was like in the middle of, I'm going to change the pattern name. I was changing. I had Photoshop open. I was changing things to upload, and I was crying because I didn't want to do it, but I was like, I have to do this. People hate me. My husband came downstairs and he goes, what the hell's wrong with you? And he's like, get a pair. He's like, grow a pair of balls. And I was like, what are you talking about? These people? And he's like, they don't matter.
Yeah.
And I was like, this moment of clarity, right? And I was like, thank God I married a strong man. Like, thank God for that, because how many of these other women in the same or similar, whatever situation with their businesses that I've watched this happen,
right,
didn't have somebody to tell them, snap out of it, you crazy woman. Like, stop being a crazy woman and be a person first with a rational mind. And that's what's like this whole year that I've gone through all this. I am so grateful, like so thankful. And I love each and every one of you idiots that did this to me, because I have grown as a person. I have, I didn't even know, white privilege, like all these, I didn't know social justice. I didn't know what these words meant, but I do now. You know what I mean? Like I've researched and I understand and I know. So I'm like, I have more knowledge now and I'm stronger and I'm more confident in myself and my capabilities. And I know what they're up to. And that's the most important thing. You know, they're not sweet roses and rainbows. They come at these businesses with these really nice, like, questions. And they're like, oh, so how are you helping Black people today?
Right.
Like, well, how do you answer that?
Ew.
Like, how do you answer that? There's no right way to answer that, because one, if you answer it, we're doing this, this, and this, then you're automatically saying, well, we weren't doing that before, so we're already at fault. And if you say we're not doing anything, then well, why aren't you? Like, there's no right way to answer those types of questions. Right. And they do it I watched it happen at all these groups this last year. It's terrible.
Right.
You know, but strong men, we need strong men.
Exactly. And girls, if you're concerned because we've been dunking on femininity, listen to the words. It's not to say that females are horrendous, although some of you are. It's not to say that femininity is bad. It's to say that there's balance, right? Almost every female I know, when she comes out as a lesbian, who does she normally go for? The bull dyke. She goes for the masculinity. Sorry, it is what it is. We need each other, right? So, and listen, just as a last note, listen to the words that Lil Ragamuffin just said. Even though the guy said, hey, what are you talking about? She just said she's more confident in herself and in her strength and in her capabilities. Weird how that happens, right? It wasn't, you're right, Lil Ragamuffin. Everything you do is correct. And that's what caused confidence? No. It was masculinity, balancing love, right? So anyway, great conversation. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I know you have to
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this has been a blast. And everybody go find Lil Ragamuffin on all the social media sites. Even if you don't buy fabric, share her
patterns. Like,
patterns.
no, it's fabric. Although my fabric business, I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning. I had patterns first. I make patterns. And I just started selling fabric. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I have a fabric of the month club. Like, join my subscription, my fabric subscription, delivered right to your door. I'm so plugging this right now because it's brand new.
Please.
Yeah, no, I hand select it. It's amazing. It's awesome. And you also get a pattern credit. So you get a free pattern. Go check it out. LittleRagamuffin.com.
Awesome. Wherever you're listening, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this with people. And I'll see you guys on Unsafe Space. That episode is going to be coming out soon. Find me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano, and on TikTok maybe soon. We'll see. Who knows? Yeah, I think I'm on MeWe too, but I think you and like Carrie and like one or two other people are my friends. Yeah.
So MeWe is going to get big real quick. I feel it because I already have I have like 4 sewing groups on there. One of them has over 2,000 people in it now. So the community is growing. It's growing. So join MeWe. You guys come to the dark side.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Right, before the white liberals ruin it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love you all very much. Thank you so much, Lil Ragamuffin, for coming on the show. We'll see you guys later. Bye. Let me stop the recording here.